Call 1-800-444-MISO. Remember, 1-800-444-MISO.
There's been a noticeable climate silence this election cycle, yet the havoc wrought by Hurricane Sandy stands as a destructive reminder that our cities are vulnerable to sea levels that are continually rising as the planet warms and glaciers melt. So, will Sandy finally spark a conversation about confronting climate change? Joining me now is Chris Mooney, producer of Climate Desk Live and author of The Republican Brain, The Science of Why They Deny Science and Reality, and Dr. Reese Halter, conservation biologist and author of The Insatiable Bark Beetle. Many thanks to both of you for your time tonight. Chris, let me start with you. What's the answer to the question you pose in your book? Why do Republicans continue to deny science, fact, and reality? Now we have Sandy here, making it all the more evident that climate things are happening.
Sure. Actually, I chalk that up significantly to matters of personality, and actually liberals more open to new experiences, new information, conservatives more defensive of their group and their pre-existing values. And we just have a lot of psychological research on that. So in relation to Sandy, you know, what you're going to see is the eyes really open, especially for the independents and the Democrats. They're like, what is going on? This is not my grandfather's weather. I think you're going to see a lot of conservatives double down now on global warming denial. Dr.
Halter, it has been obvious to many of us who are deeply concerned about this that we went through 3 presidential debates, not a word about climate change. The presidential conversation is about things that are important, obviously, but the issue of climate change simply absent, that it has not been on the public agenda. Why is that? Do you think that Sandy will change that?
It has to change that. The economy is a wholly owned subsidiary of the environment. Get it? Sandy's in the House. We've had 2 100-year events back to back, 2011 Irene, Sandy in 12, and this, I mean, it could be $50 billion. You know, we've wasted a lot of time here. Now we've got to prepare and plan, and it turns out it's a 4-letter dirty word, jobs. Come on.
Well, you are making a powerful economic argument that the sheer cost of these storms is going to force us to pay attention. That has not yet worked. I mean, if you still see, certainly, and this goes perhaps to Chris's point, that there's a doubling down, a challenge to the very science of climate change. Let me ask you this, Chris. Does Mitt Romney believe in global warming, and does Mitt Romney believe that government needs to do something about it? From everything you've read about him, seen him say, and heard over these multiple years of pronouncements on his part.
Well, you know, there's been a lot of back and forth. It's not the only issue where that's the case with Mitt Romney, but he did actually give written answers to a group called Science Debate. And in there, he admitted that, you know, scientists think that humans are influencing climate change, but then he quickly said, but he's not sure, you know, there's a consensus about the extent, which is not really true. You know, scientists think that it's mostly caused by human greenhouse gas emissions. That is the consensus. So that still wasn't an accurate statement. And I think with the Romney administration, although we did not get that debate question, I think what you would get is a lot like a George W. Bush administration where, you know, they sort of nod at the problem and they try to study it, but action is not made.
You know, but Reese, to come back to you, we saw in the first term of President Obama, there was a nod in the direction of climate change. We had the Waxman-Markey bill that was certainly a very thoughtful effort to really take a step forward, and then silence over the past couple of years. Even if President Obama is reelected, and I still think he will he put this back on the agenda? And if he does, what should the centerpiece be of his effort to address climate change?
It's got to be at the center of his platform, because we have wasted so much time. Look, there's no debate. I've been working for a quarter of a century in the climate change arena, and anybody in our arena will tell you that we're not into change, we're into rapid change. So now what we've got to do is we got to protect all of our cities, whether it's the coastal cities, whether it's building levees, whether it's getting, we've got to get into a situation here, Elliot, where our citizens are safe. There's a terrific amount of misinformation, like, for instance, that the Antarctic is gaining ice. That is absolute, utter flummery. The West Antarctica is losing 190 million tons of ice a day. If you put that into terms of blue whales, the largest living mammal on Earth, 125 tons, that's 1.5 million blue whales of ice turning to water a day. That's 500 billion blue whales of water a year. We're in trouble, man.
And you said something that I think is critically important for folks to focus upon. It is not merely that there's change at an accelerating pace. And if that means that the seas are going to be rising, how much, am I right, they've risen about a foot over the past, what, 50 years? Am I off base on that data?
Yeah. Yeah,
and that's,
yeah, and look, we have the brain power in America. Our best friend is innovation. We're all wired into smartphones, iPads, this. Where do you think that came from? Scientists. And mix that with entrepreneurs and engineers. We can tackle this thing, but we can't waste any more time.
Chris, so what is the answer? Is it a carbon tax? Is it something approaching, Waxman-Markey bill? What write for us in 30 seconds the agenda for the second term of the Obama administration to confront this so we don't have Sandy on steroids 3 years from now?
Well, first, I think we actually need much stronger adaptation measures. I mean, we knew about the vulnerability of New York. We know about the vulnerability of other cities that are going to get something like this eventually, like Tampa. And why are we not protecting these cities? You know, scientists have been saying for years this is going to happen. Climate is making it worse. So then you also need a climate policy, and this time something with a dividend. So you not only cap or tax or fee, whatever it is, but you actually give something back to citizens in terms of a check to each of them.
And so, Reese, does that mean something approaching a carbon tax? I mean, there are these carbon taxes where you just simply return the cash to citizens and it can be used as a way to change behavior.
Yeah, look, Elliot, we cleaned up the lake states with acid rain. And just lastly, the ocean provides 2 terawatts of energy for our planet. We use 1 terawatt globally of energy, and we have the technology for wave technology. And there are farms in Portugal, in Spain, in Australia, and the UK where we've got to jump all over this. They're jobs for our children, and this is innovation. This is a no-brainer.
All right,
let's get on with it.
Oddly, I got to tell you, somehow there's something affirmative and optimistic about listening to you guys because you think they're actually answers. Let's just hope the politicians have the will to get us across that line. Chris Mooney, producer of Climate Desk Live, and conservation biologist Dr. Reese Halter, great thanks to both of you for your time tonight.
Thanks, Elliot.
At the top of the hour, be sure to join Jennifer Granholm in the War Room for the latest swing state polls and electoral projections with her guest, Michael Tomasky of the Daily Beast. But coming up here on Viewpoint, the storm has also brought out the extremes in human nature, including the right-wing extreme. More Viewpoint coming up ahead.
And now to my point.